How you doing, Kiva?
Hi, how you?
It's good to see you.
Nice to see you again today.
On last week, I spoke to you and your husband, and I noticed that you were kind of distant. You know, he was more talkative. You were kind of quiet, and I sensed that maybe you had some things going on that you didn't want to discuss in session. So I asked you to come, and we would discuss it if that was okay with you, and you agreed, and that's what brings us here. So why don't you tell me what's going on with you?
It's a lot. These last couple of weeks have not been the best for me. I have been suspended from my job. And I haven't told my husband yet that I've been suspended. And I've been suspended going on 4 weeks.
4 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't realize how much of a burden it was placing on our relationship until he actually suggested that we come to counseling, and I told him, okay, fine. I thought maybe he was going through some things that maybe he felt like, counseling was easier for him to, communicate those things with me. And when we got here within our first session, I realized that I was the issue. I was the reason why we were, well, that's how I felt anyway, that I was the issue and I was the reason why we were here. I think he wants us to communicate a little bit better, and I don't know, I haven't really been able to tell him that I've been suspended for that long period of time.
So what it sounds like to me is that you're holding a secret about being suspended from your job for going on a month. And it's causing communication issues with you and your husband.
Yes.
And you don't know how to tell him. And
I honestly don't. I just
do you
feel
know why that is? Is it because of worry? Is it because of fear? Or
it's part of fear, both, because as of right now, it's a possibility that I may lose my job. And the idea of having to tell him that I've lost my job and why I've lost my job is kind of the reason why I haven't said anything. I've been looking to see, just to see where this process may go, and if I do lose my job, just to have a backup plan. For me, I know my husband at times, he could be a worrywart.
a worrywart.
It's like before he would let me stress, he would rather, stress behind whatever the situation may be.
Let's go back to your job situation. How does that make you feel that you've been suspended?
I don't like it. I don't like it, one, because I'm suspended without pay. So financially it's hurting me. Even though sometimes the break is much needed, but the possibility of not being able to have my job is what terrifies me the most, because it's something that I like.
So losing your job
Yes.
scares you?
Yes. I just feel like it's so much that's gonna come with the stress. We just recently purchased a new home, and I just don't want all the financial burdens to be placed on him. Because it was easier with 2 incomes coming in, and now it's that we just have that 1 income. I don't want him to.
So you're carrying
but
a burden. Sounds like you don't want him to carry the financial burden, but you're carrying a burden as well. You're carrying the burden of this information that is detrimental to your relationship, maybe, or not. You don't know how it's going to be. So it sounds like in a relationship, it's preferable to carry each other's burdens, help each other carry the burden, so that the load is light. But if you're walking around with this on your shoulders, then it's going to affect you. It's going to affect how you guys communicate. It's going to affect how you respond to him, or how you speak to each other.
Yeah.
You understand what I mean? So I want to get to a place where you're not carrying that burden alone. That you can bring your husband in and tell him that this is what's going on with you. I can understand your worry about finances and stability and, you know, being a two-parent household where, you know, both are working. But in a relationship, you know, it's good to share these fears, these anxieties with each other. So you say you've been suspended for 4 weeks now?
Yes.
How have you been dealing with that?
The first week I went on in my opinion, I felt was a much needed vacation. And I didn't explain to him that I was just taking a vacation by myself and I was just going to relax. He honestly thought that it was for work. And I didn't tell him any different. I let him believe that, okay, it's for work.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left for a week and I came back, and it seemed like I carry on the same routine. Still make it seem like I'm going to work, and
Right.
I just haven't had the opportunity to say, actually, I've been suspended for 4 weeks now. And I know that the hearing date is coming up real soon to find out whether or not I'll be terminated or if I
What do you
still
think
have
the
my job.
outcome's going to be?
I'm praying that the outcome will be that I will get my job back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot that went on into that scenario of me being terminated. Well, not terminated, but being suspended.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I got the unfair justice, but
So you felt that your punishment is unjust?
I totally do. I feel like everyone make mistakes, but when you're not the only person that's making that mistake in that situation, if it was a group effort, then why it seems like only maybe 2 people out of that group only got penalized and no one else.
So you feel picked on?
Pretty much. We still have to go through the whole group hearing to find out, you know, what caused this, what is going to be the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in a situation by myself, but I do feel like because I'm the minority of the group, is that I am in this situation by myself.
Okay.
So I'm hoping and I'm praying that it was just those couple weeks of suspension. If they would have said 2 weeks suspended without pay, then that would have been fine. But I feel like now it's gone too far. I've lost a whole month.
Yeah, you're left waiting in the wings, kind of to let your mind wander.
Exactly.
You understand? I can understand how that can stress you out.
And I do understand that there were some things that needed to be investigated before they could make their final decision. So.
Right. Okay.
The only thing that's helping me out now is because I had some time that I could put into, you know, to make up for the
Okay.
pay. So I'm using like my paid time off and
Okay.
that vacation time and things like that to
compensate.
yeah.
Okay,
to
for the
get by.
loss.
So it's like now I don't want to go into all of my vacation time and all these, you know, sick pays and all this stuff. So it's
I
like
get
now
it. I get it.
you
Right.
know, you want to get to the end of the situation, and you know, next week I have that opportunity to go in and see how this is going to play out.
Okay. Well, it sounds like you're dealing with a lot, and even more so on your own. What I want to do is get to the place where you can speak about this with your husband. I would like to speak on the next session with you and your husband about what's going on with you and the secret that you're holding and keeping within you, because it's causing you stress, it's causing you anxiety. And I think if you get it out and is at the place where you can communicate this with your partner, then a little bit of that stress can be lifted. You know, just the worry can be shared a little bit. You understand? And when we hold secrets from our partners and our partners feel that something is wrong, they have a tendency to blame themselves or to think out the box, like you're having an affair or you're, out drinking or anything. We don't want to give them that, what's the word? That unknowing feeling, that because that in itself is a helpless feeling. When you know something's wrong with your partner, but you can't help it, that's helpless. So I want to get us to the place where I'm going to create a safe space where you can speak about what's going on with you. He can speak about how he's been feeling. He might have a eureka moment and be like, so that's it. You never know until you speak with each other. Don't be afraid of the outcome so much. It's an open communication with you and your partner. You should be able to share these things with them. So on next week, I want us to come together, and if at the beginning of the session for any reason you still don't feel comfortable with talking to him about it, you don't have to.
Okay.
I'm not trying to put pressure on you. I'm just trying to help you get to a place where you guys have that open line of communication. Okay? All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.